Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. Sunday. What's poppin', fam? Hopefully you're having a glorious Sunday. As you guys are watching this, I'm probably at the baseball field. My 6-year-old is in the All-Stars out here in Austin, and they play all June. So those little critters can be hot, but hopefully he's balling. As you guys are watching this, he's hitting dingers, making some plays. That's the plan. Shout out to all the travel ball dads out there, all-star dads. If you're playing in June, you're doing something right, boys, or you're just crazy. Let's get to it. Before we get started, don't forget, brand new to the channel, Tuesdays and Fridays, we're live. We are live streaming for members only. Join the Big Brown Breakdown Club on my YouTube. It's on Thick Boy YouTube. You can see it on there. We'll do a live Q&A discussion. Have a grand old time every Tuesday and Friday at 11 a.m. Central for you guys. So go subscribe right now. It's for members only. And we're kicking off this Tuesday and Friday leading up to the UFC White House card, the Freedom 250. So get you some, man. We're new at this. So please show up, show out. Let's see how it goes. All right. Let's get to the fan questions. This is all YouTube questions, by the way. And if you're watching, it's like, how do I submit questions? Well, you can become a member and ask me live on Tuesdays and Fridays, or just submit your question below in the comment section of any video on YouTube and just put fan question, ask your question, and Chin and Nick see it. Boom, we're off to the races. Easiest way to get answered, all right? Let's do it. This is at RDWE. Fan question, could you beat Cain at the moment in wrestling in RAF? Oh, fresh out of prison? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he doing those prison workouts? I don't know. But if he's in any form of shape, no. Cain was a fantastic wrestler. Now, if it was wrestling with submissions, I would take my chances, but straight up wrestling's going to be tough. Bisping in mixed martial arts, eesh. God, I don't know. Bisping's in really good shape right now, I feel like. I don't know. I train with Bisping. He's an animal, man. I don't know. I would definitely take a stab at it, tell you that much.
When you train with him, does he feel like he could beat some heavyweights out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with his cardio alone. Yeah, Bisping's an animal. But I'd be down. I'd be down for either of those, by the way. Yeah, I'd be down for either of those. Yeah, if Cain's in any type of shape, that's a tough, Division I, Arizona State wrestler, and he was damn good. I'd be down. I'd be game for either of them, but I don't know. I like my chances in either of them, but I'd be down. I'll say that. What else you got, Chin? We got two here. At Normac4921. Fan question. In certain decision fights that are very close, do you guys think there should be a sudden victory round, just like the Ultimate Fighter? That is kind of lit. Also, I agree with you guys with taking a point for eye pokes or groin shots. Wish they would rule that in. Yeah, the eye pokes or groin shots should be automatic point deduction no matter what. I didn't mean to. Doesn't matter. They should do that. Fence grabs, any of that bullshit. I don't know if that's ever going to change. Do you guys think there should be a sudden victory round for like the Ultimate Fighter? I love when they used to do that. It would make things way more interesting, and I think it's a brilliant idea. I think to relate to baseball, so in Texas, we didn't do this in California. So in Texas, especially on Sundays when it's like the championship tournament days, you can't end in a tie. So what they do is once you get into extra innings, you just don't. It's not like MLB where you just start extra innings and whoever wins and top of the order, bottom of the order, top of the inning, bottom of the inning. No. It's called a Texas overtime. So you start with bases loaded and 2 outs. You both do. So, the home team gets bases loaded, 2 outs, and then the away team gets bases loaded, 2 outs. And it's so exciting. It's so dope. So this is similar to that. I think it would make things so much more exciting, and the fighters would go all out in that one round and know that they have to win that round. I think it's such a fucking good idea, dude. It's brilliant. Love that. The High Life 2231. Fan question, isn't the White House card going to sound like an Apex card? The crowd is small. It's outside. Part of the fun is the massive crowd. Yeah, I would say it's probably worse than the Apex card because at least the Apex card are real fans. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if we'll be able to tell on TV, and I don't know if anybody there is going to criticize what's going on there. It's going to be a weird vibe. Don't get it twisted. You know, I'm all for the UFC fighting at the White House and on the lawn. I think it's so cool. Such a special opportunity. Take politics out of it. I've been very outspoken about this. I support it. It is strange, and when you start getting political about it, it's so weird. I think it's going to be very strange having those elites and the oligarchs and the people that control our world sitting cage side, who aren't fans, who don't know what the fuck they're watching, can't name 3 guys on the card. It's so weird to me. It's like Django with Leonardo DiCaprio and the 2 guys were fighting. It kind of makes me cringe. It's a super special opportunity for the fighters, and they have the exposure they're going to get. So that's why I support it. Again, I've also been on record saying I think it should be all troops in the crowd to really get the electricity and give back to the troops. But there's going to be some there, and I'm sure hopefully they're loud, or are they telling them to kind of tone it down? I don't know what to expect. I think that's part of the fun too, though. I like chaos, so let's see what happens. By chaos, it could be really weird. At RD5 TV, fan question, do you think we should expect to see some shocking results in upcoming fights due to ring rust? For example, Ilia, Aspinall, and especially McGregor, won't be a shock. In boxing, they have warm-up fights even if they've been out 6 months, whereas the UFC boys jump straight back to the top hardest fights. That's what makes UFC special. There's no warm-ups. Like, think about Conor. He's been off 5 years. His leg fell off. He's been on some benders, had some legal issues. If anyone deserves a warm-up, I don't want to say deserve. If anybody should come back to kind of a lighter opponent, it'd be Conor McGregor. And they go, very cool. Welcome back, buddy. Here's freaking, Max Holloway. He's been active. He's a savage. That's the UFC. That's where we're different than boxing. Boxing just gives you some bullshit. And no one really cares. It's just for the fighter to get the ring rust out, get his timing back, get the jitters out of his system. The UFC just doesn't do that. For Ilia, I'm never worried about it because of his training. For McGregor, that's a 5 years is forever in this game. And coming off an injury, it's forever. So, we have to have some expectations there that it's going to be a little rough. But it's Conor, who's an outlier. For Aspinall's a tough one too. Aspinall's a tough one. He's been out a while. And it's not like he's been out a while and he's training really hard. He's been out a while, eye surgery. He's at odds with the UFC brass. He's with Eddie Hearn. I don't know if you saw today, as you guys are watching it Sunday, Michael Bisping, who's the face of UK MMA forever. He's the GOAT. He's the Jackie Robinson of, British MMA. He's the man. I love Bisping. Him and Paul Felder do a podcast together, and he was kind of the both of them were kind of lighting Aspinall up. I watch it, and there's 2 sides of this story. And you can play it, Chin. So there's 2 sides of the story where Paul Felder and Michael Bisping, they make great points, especially Bisping. Because you're talking about Bisping, British first world champion, right? English champion. He knows Aspinall. They speak close. I guess they're not close anymore. Whatever. But he knows Aspinall. But he also had a much more severe eye injury, had a crazy surgery, and came back and fought sooner than Tana Aspinall has. So they're saying something's up here. Something's weird. Are you going to play the clip, Chin? Play the clip. Play the clip.
He got, and again, I haven't talked to Tom. I don't know this, but it just seems like that whole situation with Cyril Gahn got him real bitter, got him real angry. I don't know, man. It feels like his head got real big real quick, and now he just thinks he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC. And it's like, dude, you haven't fought really much in 3 years.
I got to choose my words carefully here, but he just said he's still not clear to fight. But he's been very vague with the details.
Yeah.
Very vague with the details, you know. If I wasn't cleared, because he's got a YouTube channel, he posts content all the time. You'd talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, the procedures that he had, the operations, whatever they were. I had a surgery. It was a very, very serious surgery. It's called sclerobuccal. Look it up online. It's gross what they do to the eyeball. I don't know what he had, but he hasn't talked about that. I had that surgery, recovered, came back, and had a fight in a shorter amount of time than what it's taken this whole eye poke saga. You know,
It stinks, Michael.
I don't say it stinks. I mean, it's as a guy, I know Tom. We used to have a close relationship. We don't talk these days. He was a great guy, but I don't.
It feels like he got.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because no one would know the situation better than Michael Bisping, you know, who went through a much more traumatic eye surgery, doesn't have an eye. Had that surgery, came back and fought faster than Tom. So there's that, and them saying it's weird. I agree. I agree it's a little weird, and Tom's not really, he's pretty vague about it, not really filling the fans in on what's going on. Agree with all that. But you got to take that with a grain of salt as well, because remember, they both work for the UFC. Paul Felder and Michael Bisping, two of the faces when it comes to commentating. So one thing that they're leaving out, and I would, don't get it twisted. If I worked for the UFC too, I'd probably would do the same. One of the things they're leaving out is their boss, Dana White, kind of started the shitstorm on Tom, doubting his eye injury, kind of, you know, fluffing him off, building up John, disparaging Tom. So they're like, I don't know, something weird's going on here. It's like, yeah, man, your guys' boss kind of shit on Tom Aspinall. There's this rift there. It's gone sideways. So a lot of it, but I'm agreeing with Bisping where it is a little weird. With the eye stuff, we don't know what's going on. He's been super inactive, been really vague about what's going on, signed with Eddie Hearn. But what got us to this point, you know? And then Paul Felder going, yeah, he seems to have some animosity. Yeah, man. Yeah. Fuck yeah, he does. Yeah, they've kind of devalued him, underappreciated him, shit on him. You know, so there's that. Tom's just not doing this out of nowhere. Dana has to take some accountability. The UFC has to take some accountability with their handling Tom Aspinall, not inviting him to UFC events. Sure as fuck, no word at the UFC White House when he's fighting the next winner. It's an interim belt. He's their current champion.
It's weird.
So there has to be some give and take here. It's just not all Tom. That being said, I agree with Bisping. Much worse eye injury, lost a motherfucking eye. He's a legend. He's from the same fucking area, England, you know, and him being like, dude, I had way worse eye surgery, came back and fought. This is weird. Agree it's weird, but why is it weird? Your boss. That's why it's weird. Mm-hmm. It's not Tom. Tom's a nice fucking kid.
Yeah, and also remember, like, Bisping used to be Tom's biggest cheerleader, always propping him up, and then now he's saying, like, we haven't talked, you know, lately and stuff. So something's behind the scenes there for sure.
It's probably tough, you know? It's tough. At JNG Adventures. Big ass fan question. You say Till is one of the biggest stories. How about Ben's comeback to compete in RAF? Both stories are so inspiring from two different perspectives, but how do you think Ben will do in RAF? Even if he loses, he still wins. Agree. Keep up the awesome work. You seem a lot less stressed and having fun with it like back in the day. Dude, you're spot on. Yeah. Way less stressed since I got to Austin. Way less stressed these days. I got out of the rat race, man, and I'm cool with hitting singles and living my life. Bills are paid, mortgage is good, kids are happy. I would say I'm doing more content, right? Like I've taken a step back from Golden Hour. I'll still be a part of it, but I've taken a step back so I can do my thing, the live streams on Tuesday and Friday. I've added more content. This is just what I love to do. Yeah, never been happier, man. And it gives me the freedom to knock out all my work, right? Drop the kids off at school or drop them off at summer camp, where the hell they're doing, and then knock my work out and then pick them up from school, can coach their baseball, coach their football. Like, dude, it's freaking living for me, man. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better, brother. So thank you for noticing. Appreciate you with the support. When it comes to, Ben's story is different, right? Ben's story is different because you're talking about possibly one of the best to ever do it. And if you're new or newer to the UFC, you're like, Ben's career in the UFC wasn't great. I hear you. He came over too late, and right, he was the trade for Mighty Mouse. One championship, definitely won that trade. But when Ben came over, he was compromised. He had one hip, older. But if you knew Ben in Bellator days and one championship days, dude, he was such a motherfucking savage. So he's had his career. Till never really got off the ground. Like Till reached this mountain so fast, so high, didn't become champion, never defended the belt, and then he just got pushed too fast, too soon. The UFC's learned their lesson. They did it with Till, right? Like you beat Don Cerrone, next thing you know, you're the main event in your hometown, Liverpool, and it's all this shit, and you're top of the heap, and it was just too much too soon, and he decided to pull himself back. And the reason why I always kind of relate to that, it's like I got pushed too fast too soon. And it's not good. And you got to have the team around you going, dude, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's slow the fuck down. But you're wired, you're a racehorse, especially as a fucking high-level fighter, you need that belt, whatever it takes. But sometimes that the getting there fast isn't the best way to do it. Like it's a slow roast, baby. You're a brisket. You got to let that thing cook. If you're taking it too early, it's going to turn to shit. And I just admire what Till did. Going, whoa, hold the fuck up. I'm going to pull back. I'm going to take myself out of this, recoup the knee, do some work, and get back to winning and making money. And this is a path that's never been done. And I can't imagine how scared he was. And he has a kid or kids, and crazy. With Ben's thing is multiple time world champion, was on the National Olympic team for wrestling. Like he's done it, dude. He did it. But if you're just looking at his UFC career, you're like, he didn't. He did. And he's had his career. And then, he's coaching wrestling, and he's one of the best coaches ever, and his life is wrestling, and then he gets sick. And they got to do a double fucking lung transplant. But I think you're seeing is like fighters are just cut from a different cloth. Like anybody else, I don't know if they come back this fast. I don't know anybody that's ever had this procedure. So let alone coming back this fast, let alone fucking competing in wrestling. So yeah. They're two, you're comparing apples and oranges here. Both are inspiring as fuck. For Ben, to your point, it's a win-win no matter how this goes. If he's 50% of what he used to be, he should fucking mop the floor with Bilal. Not even close. So, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
We got that one, right?
Yeah, we'll do it anyway because Nick Prydence realizes that this guy asked on
Instagram,
IG, and on here. So just at Kurtner0968. Fan question: how do I get tickets to Gamebred? I live in Florida, but I'm dying to go to an event and potentially meet you. I'd pay for those seats to meet you. Love the show. Have tuned in for many years. Keep up the good work. Love the super dad culture. Shout out to the daddy gang. Yeah, and I said this on Thursday's show, which you guys watch on Friday, but the next event for Gamebred in Florida is in Miami in September. I don't know if it's announced. Pretty sure it's in September in Miami. Hit me up, DM me, or just email the boys. Probably use the fighter and the kid shop at gmail.com. My brother will see it or somebody will see it, and I'll make sure you get tickets, and I'll make sure you and I connect. All right? I got you, man. Pretty sure it's in September. Don't hold me to it, though. I got you, though, dude. At Zach McQueen -RD. 6-time trying here. Yo, Brendan, longtime fan from Red Deer, Alberta, home of the UFC alumni. Jason the Athlete McDonald, old school. I haven't heard that name in forever. Question, who's on Brendan's MMA Mount Rushmore, and who are your favorite fighters to watch from any MMA era? Love the dad content as well. Thanks, dude. I'm a new dad myself. Can't wait to get my guy into all the sports. Dude, nothing better. And jiu-jitsu as soon as they're ready. Thanks, bro. Shout out to the dads, bro. Yeah, get after it, man. Put your time into the kiddos. Who's on my MMA Mount Rushmore? GSP, Silva, BJ Penn, John Jones, Mighty Mouse. In no particular order. Favorite fighters to watch? Man, I was a big Rich Franklin fan. Fedor, Shogun, Nogueira, Vanderlei Silva and Pride especially. Crow Cop, Fedor. I like the Bob Sapp shit. I'm a big Pride guy. Love the Pride days. Tito in his heyday was fucking awesome to watch. Frank Mir, Lesnar. I mean, dude, there's so many. There's so many. Sean Shirk, Matt Hughes, Frank Trigg.
Trigg.
Yep, was a big Trigg fan.
Interesting.
There's so many, dude. I could go all fucking day. There's so many. At Tyler Durkett, 2346. Fan question. As a father of an athletic son, how would you go about helping him with gaining weight? I need to, hopefully you put how old he is. Oh, you did. Thank God. As a father of an athletic son, how would you go about helping him with gaining weight, playing baseball, getting him ready for football weight, and then straight come to weight for wrestling season? Dude, we're the same, dude. It's a nightmare for me as a dad. Each sport requires a certain speed, but football wants bulk, and speed is his best agility. Your thoughts? Not big. 125 pounds, 13 years old, insane speed. Any thought helps. Help. 13, 125, I mean, a speedster. Baseball, football. So baseball and football, speed kills, right? That's everything. And that's his outlier. At 13, too, if he's fast at 13, because a lot of kids who are fast when they're like 8, 9, 10, then when they hit puberty or they get to like 13, 14, 15, that speed kind of levels out. But at 13, he's cooking. He's that fast. And he keeps saying speed's his thing. So that's something we can't teach. Like, I'll have dads come to me like, man, my son, he's really slow. What can we do? And the kid's like 6. I'm like, nothing. You're born with speed. Like, my 6-year-old is just, that's his thing. Like your son, he's just fucking fast. Tiger, for a big dude, he's fast. But he's not like a blazer. Like, T ain't ever running a 4.4. Bossy probably will. Bossy's fucking fast. That's his gift. There's things we can do as they get older to clean up their mechanics, but if they don't have that fast twitch muscle, there's nothing we can do. So if your kid's not born fast, you ain't making them fast. This is a fact. You can help and get him more efficient and cleaner, but again, he's not gonna be able to keep up the kids who are actually born fast. So if speed's his thing, man, I wouldn't worry about I wouldn't worry so much for wrestling, you know? I would just keep that speed at all costs because that's the equalizer. Like, you can't teach that. And if he has that, dude, fucking run with it. As far as weight, this is always tricky, especially with young kids. But like my kiddos take creatine now. So creatine's in red meat. So a lot of people heard, you give your kids creatine. Creatine's naturally in red meat. So if you give your kid steak, yeah, you're giving them creatine. They just take 5 grams in the morning. Both of them do. And that will help with muscle building, brain power, just overall health and strength. And it will also, by default, if it's a monohydrate, it will hold weight too. So we'll add a little weight as well. They just got to stay hydrated. That's it. But if your kid has speed, dude, you're already ahead of the curve, man. You say insane speed too. At 125, I would cultivate that at all costs, dude. I would not compromise that in any facet. And if baseball and football, if he's cooking with the speed, dude, wrestling, you know, to make him tough mentally, but I would focus on baseball and football. Not sure that helps, but creatine helps my kiddos. Fan question: Exalted Born.
Yep.
Brendan, on the Fire and the Kid, you mentioned that Paddy versus BSD is a bad matchup for Paddy. My question is, shouldn't this be exactly the type of fight we want to see if we're trying to determine who belongs in the title picture? Both guys rank near the top of the lightweight division. Both are coming off huge fights, and both need a statement win to get back into the one contender conversation. Historically, the UFC's strongest divisions were built on contenders fighting contenders rather than protecting rankings. Yeah, true. If Paddy's a future champion, being a dangerous pressure fighter like BSD only strengthens his case. If BSD wins, it proves he's ready for the next level. Either way, the division gets clarity. Yeah, facts. So what am I missing here? Why is this considered a bad match instead of the exact kind of fight that should happen when two top lightweights are trying to earn a title shot? No, you're right. You're right. My bias for Paddy showing, I guess, in some weird way, I'm trying to protect him. I feel like there's better matchups to get him back in the win column. But you're right. You're right. You're right. If he can't beat BSD, it's like, all right, so he's not the guy we thought he is. This is exactly who should be fighting. They're both highly ranked. They're both contenders trying to get to the championship fight. Yeah, you're right, brother. You're right. My bias for Paddy showing. At Nerd Jock Hybrid. Fan question: which type of training did you enjoy more as a pro athlete? MMA, football, and why? Also, can you name your favorite drills for both sports that you maybe get nostalgic about at times? Love from Fresno. Cali, big dog. Shout out to Cali. Still got love for Cali. Still absolutely fucking love California, even LA. Which type of training did you enjoy more as a pro athlete, MMA or football? Oh, that's tough. I enjoyed both because I enjoy the team concept of it. And even though MMA, you guys see on Fight Night, they're there by themselves, and that's fucking scary. But you're only as good as your team. Really, especially when you get to a certain level. Like if you're at the local level, you can get by, with your one or two coaches in a garage and you're beating the shit out of people. But eventually, in order to really test yourself and improve your skill set, you're only as good as your teammates. So that's why you see these super teams like AK, Grudge, Jackson's, ATT. These big boy teams. Kill Cliff. So that's why they do it. So they're training with the tip of the spear guys, and you're making each other better, and you're seeing different, moves and different styles. So you're getting ready for the big show. So my favorite part of MMA was the team, and just we're all striving to be the best. And I miss those days. I miss having that kind of goal. Because when you have that goal to be the best, it's like the shit I would do, man. Like I remember training with Tony Jeffries in Santa Monica, and we'd go to the track, and I was running like a fucking lightweight. I was doing, 1500s, 800s, so many of them, and keeping up with Glenn, and he would have a timer on. And dude, I was in insane shape. If you asked me to do that now, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. But when you have a goal to be the best, you didn't even question any of it, man. Or run the Santa Monica stairs at midnight. I would do that multiple times a week. I used to fucking love it, man. Love it. Run the sand dunes, off of PCH. So tough. I loved it. Loved every second of it. In football, like even now, it's this, summer's coming, right? Whenever I smell fresh cut grass, it can take me back to when I was in middle school and high school, and my dad would drop me off, or I'd walk to the football field, and it was 7 a.m. and putting your cleats on. It's a little chilly outside, crisp mornings. It takes me back to that. Like that smell of grass takes me back to football. All I think about is football. As far as drills, I can tell you the drill I fucking hated in college is we would do inside run drill. So I think it would be, I forget what they call it. It wasn't 7-on-7 because it was just running backs, a quarterback, and linemen versus D-line linebackers. And it was just straight up ISO drills all the time. I fucking hated it, man. I hated that part. But I loved my favorite stuff was like the Oklahoma drills, the hitting drills. I loved that competition. I loved going one-on-one against guys. I absolutely loved it. And then I remember, in college, they're trying to make like men like dogs out of you, right? And I remember they would have a rope, or they'd have this thing that was filled with water, and it would be this big cylinder and have two handles on each side. And at the end of strength condition or the beginning of strength condition in the summer, we're trying to weed guys out. So if there was I was a fullback, right? Tight end. So if it was close, I was maybe the starter, this guy's maybe the starter, they would pit us against each other. And whoever let go first, it would just be like a mental win, but just the team would know too, all right, that we can bank on that guy. He's a dog. And they would do that. And buddy, I mean, you would have to cut my fucking arms off to release my grip from those things. And you would see I can trust, I want that guy in my foxhole, shit like that. Yeah, I used to love all of it. My favorite thing in MMA too is wrestling practice. I used to love wrestling practice. Love it. It was hard, but I won't say who it is. He's a predominantly striker in the UFC. And he's ranked top 15. But wrestling was in his forte, and he came to us, right? It's me, Shane Carwin, Bobby Lashley, some dogs, especially when it came to the grappling department. And he came there because, guys were going to start taking him down, and I'll leave it at that. So they bring him there, and they pit me against him first. My coach comes up to me. He's like, break this kid. Fucking break him. And that was the goal. And I remember just mopping the floor with this dude, taking him down so many times he started crying. This is a heavyweight you guys would know very well.
What?
Yep. And it was just I love that. I fucking love that. I loved it. I loved it in strength condition football. It's called Dirty Dozens. Some of you fellow CU Buff teammates out there watching this right now will be like, oh my God, Dirty Dozen. You'd start at 4 a.m. And you would start, there's 200 kids on the team. They have to get down, I think there was 112. So you got to cut a good amount of kids. And they would weed them out by just running us into the ground. If you quit, you're off the team. And I used to love it when kids would quit. It was my thing. It gave me this fucking adrenaline where we'd have to, Dirty Dozens is 12 drills, and we break into teams. You have the same teams every day. And you would compete against other teams, you do all these drills. But during the process, if you knocked over a cone, if you tripped over something, if you fell on the ground, if you didn't finish through, there's a guy go by with a clipboard and just mark it down. What he's marking down, and remember, this is all 12 teams. What he's marking down is how many sprints you're going to do in the end. We would average, because you're talking about you're doing these drills for about an hour, and they're exhausting, and the competition's so intense. But he would mark it down, and that's how many sprints. We'd average 30 sprints a day. And the whole goal was to break people. And I remember, we're 25 sprints deep in it. You had to make it by a certain time. If you didn't make time, off the team. So kids were leaving. And I remember being down in my three-point stance. You used to be down in three-point stance, just throwing up from exhaustion, just throwing up. But if I would have stopped, I'm off the team. And I just remember kids quitting. Or they did wall squats. We're just sit against the wall, and I don't know how long we're there, and our legs are shaking. Someone would fall, he'd get out, he'd go get his shit, get his pads, walk away, and you just keep fucking going. Nobody's more mentally tough than those boys. I love all that. I miss all that high competition. And dudes quitting, breaking, love it. Fucking love it. Thanks for the question, man. I haven't talked about that shit in forever. At Cody Dean 1, fan question: with Ilia Topuria headlining International Fight Week and the White House Freedom 250 card, is it safe to say he's a once-a-year fighter? Ilia Topuria? No, I don't think he's a once-a-year fighter. I think he's a twice-a-year fighter, but it's just, I think they were saving him for this certain thing. But if he wins, he'll fight again Q4. So I think this is a special thing that we're dealing with. That's why he's not as active. And he went through the divorce and all that shit. But that seems like it's in the past. So, no, he's a twice-a-year fighter. The days of your champion fighting 3 times a year ain't happening anymore, especially with the current champions. I feel like Strickland would be down for 3 times a year, but outside him, ain't nobody fighting 3 times a year. Is this another question here? Mm-hmm. At Tyler Durkett, 2346. Fan question: do you think DJ or TJ, he's Demetrious Johnson, or TJ Dillashaw could hold their own in RAF? It's RAF, not RFA for the 50th time. Yeah, sorry, dude. LO. And what other retired UFC fighters do you think could hold their own in wrestling some elite competition? Not many, dude. And is there lighter competition for some of the lighter ex-UFC fighters that you can think of for RAF? Oh, buddy. As far as could DJ hold their own RAF? It depends who you pit them against. You know, like against like elite high level guys that are on the circuit. No. DJ's so athletic, but still, if it's that their cup of tea and those guys are currently competing or just fresh off like their college campaign, that'd be very tough for either one of them. Now, TJ did wrestle at Cal State Fullerton, I believe, and he was good. But again, those guys that are like on the world team or national championship, they're going to mop the floor with MMA guys. At Venom Nature, fan question: how long do you think Conor has until he gasses out in the Max fight? I've seen recent training footage of his, and his gas tank isn't looking great at all. To be frank, it's just training footage, but Conor has been known to gas out. Max gas tank is definitely better than Conor's. God bless, and hope y'all's week goes well. It's going great, dude. Thank you. At Venom Nature, yeah. Listen, Conor's never been a gas tank guy. It's just not his thing. He's a thoroughbred racehorse. He's a fucking drag car where the miles per gallon ain't great. So if he doesn't get it done, I'd say in 2 rounds, we're cooked. I give him a round and a half before it starts going south. 1 round and a half. If he doesn't get it done in a round and a half, he definitely ain't winning. At Stephen KC-ID3IZ. Fan question: if you were Sean Strickland's coach, wouldn't you have him work on different technique? Why? He's the world champion. He does the same thing every fight. I feel he's always going to have a close decision, win or lose. Seems like he would be the easiest fighter to train for. Tough to figure out, Bubba. Also, who did the
Song.
Also, who did the song "Ride Through the City Like Brendan Schaub"? Oh, that's Little Browse.
Yeah,
that's my boy Little
of
Browse.
course.
Yeah, the spelling is way off there.
This is so
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend and even my son can't help but move a little when it plays. Yeah, it's a banger. That's Little Browse. Shout out to Little Browse.
Tons of
Austin
bangers.
Awake. Super talented. His songs are all on Spotify and iTunes. And if you want to put his songs in an IG story for all your pictures, he's on there. He's the best. In regarding Sean Strickland, like, wouldn't you have him work on a different technique? He's the best in the world, dude. That's his thing. He also, at his age, what's he gonna do? Like this Philly shell-ish, great cardio, great takedown defense has got him to the dance, and he's the king of the ball. So it's like, why would you have that guy change? No, seems like everyone else needs to adapt. You know, if you're the champ, everyone needs to adapt to you. At Tyler Payton 316. Brendan, round 2, send this question. Big fan, bro. 2 questions. What do you think the biggest example right now is of the UFC protecting a fighter's stock and the fans might not realize it? That's a great question. Not Sean Strickland. Here's the thing with Sean Strickland too, right? Like, they banned him from the White House card. And this is my post. It's Friday. We're shooting this. This is my post today on Sean Strickland getting banned. Sean Strickland has said some atrocious shit. That's his thing, right? Use the N-word on Aiden Ross's live stream. Some of his comments on, gays and transgender. It's wild shit. ICE stuff, like wild shit. Anything ever happened to him? The only time he got suspended is when he went into the octagon and he was coaching like some local fight and punched that kid. What did they give him? A 4-month suspension? Sean Strickland has some wild stuff. Wild shit that I don't agree with all that shit. Wild, dude. Wild. He mentions Israel and he's banned from the White House. Do you think, with the history of the UFC putting up with some wild shit, I mean, we've seen it all. We've seen it all, dude. We had a guy say some stuff about being Jewish and the Nazis and Hitler and Bryce Mitchell, even he didn't get suspended. And then Sean Strickland, out of all the wild shit he says one thing about Israel, and he's banned from an event. It's never been happened before. My question to you is, do you think the UFC banned him? Look at their track record. Who have they ever banned before? Never. That's the White House banning him. That's the White House banning Sean Strickland. UFC had no say in it, no control. That's the White House's request. That's why he's banned. Figure it out. Figure it out. There's one group you can't mention. There's one group that does cross the line. Figure it out, right? Figure it the fuck out. But as far as protecting fighters, their stock, I mean, Cyril Gane's had, this will be his 5th or 6th title shot. That's a weird one to me. It's a combo of two things. It's not that weird. Stay the heavyweight division. He looks the part, but I've never seen a guy get more opportunities ever in my life. Ever. It's so wild to me. That's an interesting one. The Sugar Sean fight on the White House card is an interesting one. You know? Very interesting one. Doesn't make a ton of sense. Why you wouldn't put Corey Sandhagen on the White House card against him, that's a weird move. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. I could do this all day, Bubba. I don't want to get in too much trouble. Do you think commentators, and then the second question is, do you think commentators shape fans' opinions of fighters in close fights? Much love, bro. Love all the dad talk. Thanks, man. I thought you guys hated the dad talk. We could just do, maybe we do it on the live chat, just an all dad fucking pod. Or just fucking Q&A. That'd be fun. Because some people, like, say, if you don't have kids, I get it, dude. I get it. Like I'll listen to Ariel. The Boys in the Back are my favorite. I love the Boys in the Back. That's who I listen to mainly. Mm-hmm. I think they're great. They're great because they're not, and I'm not saying, even I'm a little jaded, right? I've been in the business so long. I've been doing this a long time. Ariel's been doing a long time. Luke Thompson's been doing a long time. Chael's been doing a long time. Insert your favorite MMA guy in the YouTube space, right? The Boys in the Back, they're not famous. They're just the love of the sport. They don't have to sway any way, any particular way. They're taking the White House card is spot on. Like they're not compromised yet. They're not getting pressure from fans or fighters. They can say whatever the fuck they want. I love it. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
You know?
They're very knowledgeable.
Fuck yeah. Oh, dude, they're way smarter than me when it comes to fighting. Yeah, those guys, they live, eat, and breathe this shit. They're very good. Yeah. So it's rare you get those authentic takes. Like a lot of guys will have relationships with fighters like me or, other, it's just, it is what it is. Or I trained with a guy, or I know the coach, or, I have my biases. I have my favorite fighters, or maybe their style's like this, or, they have similar careers to mine. So, I'm going to be fucking biased. The Boys in the Back, they don't have any of that, dude. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
So when they drop pods, I listen, man. They're good. I don't know how I got stuck on them. Do you think commentators shape fans' opinions of the fighters in close fights? Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. But again, I'm guilty of it too. Like I do commentating on Gamebred. I have my fucking favorites, man. Or if a guy keeps making the same mistake, it drives me nuts. It's something maybe only I see, or it was something, whatever triggers me from my fighting days, and I'll harp on that. Or if a guy's not fighting smart, I talk about that, and that will sway the way people might think of another fighter. When it comes to DC, right? Heavy wrestling background. DC's gonna sway towards the wrestler and the takedown and this, it's just, it is what it is. Rogan loves jiu-jitsu, yeah, of course. All commentators do. Even in whatever the sport is you watch, even the NFL. Like watch a fucking, Tom Brady or any of these guys. It's just, you can't help it. It's just human error.
Just for reference to, I do remember the one and only time that UFC banned someone was, remember Paul Daly hit Josh Koscheck Like after
Well, yeah.
the bell.
Well, yeah, but that's not. I'm talking about ban
For where their opinions
ban for
about
saying
something.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ban for having an opinion, freedom of speech. So UFC's thing is we're hands off. We believe in freedom of speech, unless you say something about Israel. Hey, anything goes. We're all good here. Trans, gays, black, ICE, Mexicans, whites, whatever the fuck is. Freedom of speech first. They're gonna get their discipline in the octagon. That's our thing here. Sean Strickland mentions Israel. Except for that, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Price was on point, without a doubt.
It's weird. At Infinity Psycho 3479. Got a lot of RAF. People want to see me in RAF, huh?
Yeah.
Brendan, how do you think a RAF match between you and Logan Paul would go? I'd love to see you body that. I'd love to see you body that weirdo. That would be easy to build because it's so easy to talk shit to him, and you could cash out, build the match a bit before even try to negotiate with RAF, so you have better leverage for more dollars. I got a lot of love for you, bro, and you seem like a great dad and friend, and probably the only person in the Rogan sphere that hasn't morphed into a completely different person that lacks morals and common sense. Yeesh. Dude, you guys are trying to get me in trouble. Have a good week. I got a job interview this Thursday. I've been stressing, so I'm grateful to have this video to distract me from now. Chin, what up, brother? Hope you're doing well.
Thanks, bro.
Little advice for the job interview. A lot of people go in scared of job interviews, whatever, they're intimidated, or you're dealing with a boss, or maybe he's more successful than you. I'm sure you know shit he doesn't know, dude. I'm sure there's shit you can talk about that it would blow his mind. So don't get it twisted. You're on the level playing field. Maybe he started in the career earlier, and that's why he's at where he's at. That doesn't make him better than you, doesn't make him smarter than you. It just, he got a head start. That's not something to admire. You bring value, brother. That's why they're bringing you in. So, maybe it's even fighting. Maybe you're a fucking hardcore UFC fan, and if he talks about fighting, you're going to run circles around him. So, and that's because when he was focused on whatever this job is, let's say it's landscaping. Just bad example. Let's say it's landscaping. He's been landscaping 20 years. Well, when he started landscaping, you were studying film on fighting. It doesn't mean he's smarter than you, he's better than you, he's harder working than you. No. He just decided to study this one particular thing more than you. But if you started when he started, I bet you'd be doing just as well, if not better. So don't let that go into that thing with fucking confidence, dude. Not arrogance, confidence that this dude's no different than me. I offer something and bring your best, dude. Hopefully that helps. As far as Logan Paul goes, again, I'm not that famous, dude. Those guys want the most famous guy possible. I would also fuck them up. I'm not the one to, I'm not the easiest sell, It's not good. There's easier options to make more money and win. I'm a dad in Austin, and I do this fucking show, and I do a few other things. I'm not that famous, and I have a skill set. I would fuck them up. I'm not, and I love Logan Logan and Jake are great. I love what Logan's built. Obviously people have their issues with him. I get all that. I think what they've built's insane, but it's like, hey, you want to wrestle this guy who fought in the UFC, who's top 10, who competed in the heavyweight division, and has, what do I have, 180,000 subscribers on YouTube? Oh, he's a black belt? Oh, is he out of shape? No, he's probably in better shape now than he was when he's fighting. I'm not an easy night in the office for what they're going for, Current fighters will fuck me up, but I'm saying for being retired, doing what I do now, yeah. There's easier options for them and make way more money. It doesn't make sense for them, I'm down. Yeah. Oh, you wrestled in high school? Very cool. I would fuck his world up. But again, that's just a competitor. It doesn't mean I don't like him. Doesn't mean I have issues with him. I'm not calling him out. But if he was feeling froggy, you could get it,
It's raining hard.
Is that rain?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I thought it was AC for a second, but it's the rain or the CO2.
At P Pop Bear, fan question: In regards to more content, can we do a show or a segment where the theme is for the hardcores? We do a deeper dive into organizations like Cage Warriors, CFFC, and upcomers, the Dana White Contender Series, and also dive a little deeper into BKFC, Karate Combat, Gamebred, boxing, kickboxing. I think it'd be sick for the hardcore fans, and it might also be appealing to the casuals that want to get a little deeper into combat sports as a whole. There's a lot more going on in the fight world than the UFC. It's a fucking great idea. It's a great idea. I'm not mad at that at all. I love Cage Warriors, love CFFC, Dana White Contender Series, BKFC. I love all of it. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think for that, let's see how the membership fan questions go on Tuesday, Friday, but those could morph into even something more, right? I'm just trying to feel my way out here, especially the live stream stuff. That's new. Chin's old as fuck. I'm not young. So we're trying to figure out that live streaming side of things, especially with members only, right? Because you don't want to just open it up to the fucking world because you can get all this weird toxic shit, especially in MMA. So that's why we're doing members because it's for you guys. I'm sure you guys, like you go through my comments, you guys don't want to deal with that horrible toxic shit. So that's why we do it. So let's see how it goes. And we'll go from there. But this is a great idea, brother. Thank you for the idea.
I think that's it.
That's it. All right, kids. Again, speaking of live streaming, this Tuesday and Friday, it's our first live stream ever. You got to be a member. Join the Big Brown Breakdown Club. We're the Brownies, baby. So come on down Tuesday and Friday this week, leading up to the UFC White House card. My hopes for this is you guys can ask live questions, get answers right away, but then also create a dialogue. Hopefully we can go back and forth. It's the one thing I do miss doing when I just rant in the camera at you guys. So hopefully you guys bring it. Hopefully there's support. It's this Tuesday and Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. I hope it goes well. You never know, man, but it's worth a shot. Let's see how it goes. Please subscribe so we can get this thing rolling. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making the show what it is, man. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. And for you dads out there, kick ass this weekend. If you're at the baseball fields, I will be out there for the Lake Travis All-Stars. So hopefully Bosty lights it up, my man. That's it. Love you guys. I'm Big Brown. See you Tuesday. Join the Big Brown Breakdown Club on YouTube. Members only. Love you guys. I'm out.
When you're in a bind, you will find a new fight card to be broken down. And you can't fall asleep, 'cause he'll go balls deep on a card coming Saturday night. It's Big Brown, Big Brown, the Big Brown Breakdown coming to your town. He's big and he's brown, the Big Brown Break. Some of that was good. Down.
Run down.